Hello, everybody. How we doing? Can you hear me? It looks like I've got this mic hooked up. I made the mistake before of using my AirPods, and it was using that mic, and it didn't sound very good. But I'm going to try a different mic today. I just want to know what the difference sounds like. Yes, we can hear you. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, while we're on the subject of audio, let me just do a little change here. I'm going to switch over to this mic and let me know if you hear a difference. I'll make the switch now. There. Can you hear me? And does that sound better or worse? Now you're listening to me through this. And I'll look at the comments. Sounds great by Beautiful Day. I don't know which one that was. Worse, Jason says. Okay, good to know. And I kind of thought that. This is great for outside. I hear better, a bit better. Sounds good to me, better. Loud and clear, just muffled. Okay, well, I've got this little thing on it here. But the benefit of this is I can get up and I can go all the way back here and you can still hear me. Right? That's the benefit of it. Oh, sorry, Peanut. That's the benefit of this. So now I will switch back to my shotgun mic right now. So now I'm on the shotgun mic. So now what do you think? Which one sounded better? This one or now this one up here? Yes, keep that one on, Beautiful Day says. Sounds better. The first one was quieter but sounded better. The wireless is more muffled but louder. This is better. Okay. Well, the volume I can change. I can change that fairly easily. And just so you know, I will show you. Did that work? That did. There we go. So now you're seeing the video from my iPhone. That is the mic that we're using now. This shotgun mic I have up top here, that stopped working. Okay, we'll switch back. Don't know why that froze like that. But anyways, yeah, that's the Synco Mic D2 is what I typically use up there. Somebody says my Rode mic is better. I don't actually have a Rode mic. This is a DJI wireless mic. This is the charging case that it comes with. And there are two mics in here, and then the receiver, which I've got plugged into a dock, which is plugged into my MacBook. And then this one is a Synco. So that's by Synco. This one's by DJI. So I used to have a Rode mic, but I gave that one to my son when I upgraded to this. But Rode does have a nice wireless system as well. I just cut out briefly. The audio, it looked like the video cutout. So I'm not, it looks like a Rode mic. Yeah, very similar. I think the last Rode that I saw was a little more square, whereas this is kind of rectangular. Yeah, both good options for like if you want to record outside, like I've been doing a lot lately, making videos outside. My iPhone mic isn't awesome. Well, it's not horrible. The problem is when you're outside, and there's any amount of wind at all. It doesn't have to be that much at all, just a little bit of wind, and that will be basically disturbance. It'll be picked up as disturbance in the regular iPhone mic, so it's good to have something that has this little fluffy thing on it, the dead cat, or wind muff, sometimes called. So anyways, yeah, how we all doing? Happy Tuesday, everybody. I will quickly go through the chat. Do I have any announcements? Not really. Oh, one thing. I'm just going to pop this up real quick. I haven't changed it from last week. It's the same as the week before, but just to get this out of the way, the announcement, shameless self-promotion. But if anybody wants to join Creators Cove, it's a free online community for over 40 people who are starting on a YouTube journey and perhaps want to talk to some other people. It's free to join. There's a link down below where you can click to join that. I've also got a couple of other free things you can click to download, a stats tracker that I created in Excel. Actually, Google Sheets is what I use, but there's that. And a success checklist you can download. And also, I do have a couple of courses that you could buy and a channel review service. And they are on sale, but by the end of this week, that sale is going to be over. So I've got links to all that down below. That's enough of that. Okay, so let me get rid of that. So what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to go through the chat. I'm going to talk about the last video that I made. Actually, so I've come out with 2 videos on this main channel since we went live last Tuesday. So I had one on Wednesday of last week and then one yesterday. Last Wednesday's has done quite well. A lot of people have seen that. It's got up to over 70,000 views now, which is fantastic. Slightly different perspective. The thumbnail looked a little bit different. And that's I try to tell people that sometimes, and I'm not saying this is the reason that video did well, but sometimes when you show a thumbnail that is a little bit different than what you had been doing before, that might pique people's interest, and you might get a little bit of a higher click-through rate than you're used to. So take that for what it's worth. I think that works, and something to try, right? If you want to give it a shot, try to change up your thumbnails and see if you get a bump like I noticed. But yeah, and I also wanted to talk about what I talked about in that video, because there was a lot of misunderstanding, I think. Let me just pull that up here for a quick second. We'll go to, and I'll share my screen with you in just one second here. Once I pull up the page, where are you? Right there. Okay, so this is my channel. This is the video I'm talking about here. Don't tell anyone about your YouTube channel. Okay, this one right here. Here, let me pull this side in a little bit so I'm not really hiding it. Any of the page. Does that work? There we go. That's fine. So yeah, don't tell anyone about your YouTube channel. So the misunderstanding comes from, I think a lot of people thought that my point was a lot of times the people closest to you aren't going to care about your channel. And I mean, that's sort of correct, but not in the way I meant. So I got a lot of comments from people that said things like, yeah, my family and my friends are not supportive of my channel. I sent them the links and they're not looking at it and they didn't subscribe. You know, screw them, right? And I'm thinking, whoa, wait a second now. 2 things. Number one, the whole point of my video was to basically say you really don't want your friends and family clicking on a link that you send them and subscribing to your videos. That's probably not your target audience, okay? But number 2, it's not that people aren't supporting your channel. It's that everybody has different interests. Your interest, like my interest right now, is making YouTube videos. Your interest is presumably the same thing. And if you send a link to somebody who may or may not be into YouTube, their family or friends, and if they don't click on, they don't click and watch all of your videos, don't take that personally. Because, again, everybody has different interests. When you sit down and open up your YouTube and you start browsing through videos and you click through videos, YouTube will start to learn what you like to watch, and they'll start putting up on your YouTube homepage thumbnails and videos that YouTube thinks you want to watch, okay? So YouTube is always learning your viewing habits. Take your friend or family member, and if they're a YouTube viewer, they're doing the same thing, right? But presumably their interests are slightly different than yours. So they're going to be served up a whole bunch of different videos than you are to potentially click on, and then YouTube is learning what they like to see. If you send somebody a link to a YouTube video, say, here, click this, and check it out. It's a video I made. Sure, they're probably going to click and they'll watch it. They're probably interested. Maybe, maybe not. And they may subscribe to you. Maybe, maybe not. But that doesn't mean that you are their cup of tea. You know what I mean? Like they aren't necessarily your ideal audience. And sending a link here and there to the odd person is not a big deal. That's not really where I was going with that video. It was more that I don't think it's a good idea to broadcast out to like hundreds of people your YouTube channel. Don't buy ads and try to advertise that you have a YouTube channel because it doesn't work. Sure, the immediate results, you might get some subscribers and viewers, but those viewers probably aren't going to watch very much of your video, not as much as, say, somebody that YouTube finds organically who in fact might be interested in what you have to say, right? That person is more likely to watch more of your video. So then if you get more of those types of people who are watching more of your video, your average view duration in your analytics is going to be higher, right, than it would be from people viewing your videos, people that you either advertise to or broadcast to on a Facebook page, or send out a link in your Instagram. Maybe you have thousands of Instagram followers and you put a link to your channel there. It kind of skews the results, the YouTube algorithm, and it doesn't, you're not going to do yourself any favors. So that was my point. You don't want to do that. But then people kind of took that and kind of went another way with it and said, yeah, no, my family's not supportive and I hate that. I just want some support. And I mean, quite honestly, they would be more supportive if they ignored your link and did not, right? And just let you do your thing with YouTube. So then I came out with another video on Monday, which was kind of in response, basically saying what I just said just now, trying to explain what I was trying to get at in that first video. But it's funny because that first video, when I say first video, I mean the one from last Wednesday, this big mistake one. Don't tell anyone about your YouTube channel. So there was a lot of what I thought was misunderstanding. But that said, there's like 71,000 views on that video now. So maybe that misunderstanding was good, I guess. I don't know. So, people took that video in different ways, and maybe that's why it ended up reaching more people. It's interesting. It's interesting. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to explain that and what my thought process was behind that. I have not gone into the chat yet, but let me know your thoughts on that and if you saw the video and what you thought of it. And also what else you want to see me do next. I am planning on making another video tonight that I'm going to release tomorrow morning. It's different than the last two. It's going to be here inside my office. I haven't made one of those in a little bit. But yeah, let me just scroll right back to the top here, and I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. If anybody has any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer as many as I can in the 90 minutes or so that we have together today. So that's kind of the plan. So who we've got? And actually, incidentally, we may end up with some new people today. That typically happens when I have a video that does better than average, reach some new subscribers. And there's been a couple thousand more subscribers join the channel. So thank you very much. If you're brand new, welcome. And so hopefully we'll see some new names here in the live stream. First one I got here is Fanny B joining from South Africa. Hello, Fanny. How you doing? A question. I posted that question on one of your other videos this morning, and then I saw this. Not sure what question you're referring to. I don't see another question by you. But maybe I answered it in the comments of the videos. I'm almost caught up with all the comments. I like to at least heart all of them, and if anybody has questions there, I want to answer them all. So so here's Ann Shelter. How you doing, Ann? Good to see you. Has a question. Would it be against copyright laws to sing songs with my ukulele and post lyrics for a sing-along channel for folks in nursing homes? I want to use 1920 to 1970 songs. Thanks. Interesting. This is not my specialty. So if it's not a recorded song, and it's that old, 1920 to 1970. So the 1970 ones you might have a problem with. It's hard to say. So so you're going to be singing them yourself and playing the ukulele. So in that respect, it's new content. However, presumably, you don't own the copyright to the actual lyrics and the music. So that's what I'd be careful of. But you can try it maybe with some really old songs first. And when I say really old, I think, what's the rule? I think once something goes past 70 years, there's no copyright claim on it anymore. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know where I read that or saw that, but so that's why I'm thinking something from 1920 might be okay. like the YouTube algorithm's not going to pick up. It's not going to probably match your ukulele playing and singing to an original recording unless you sound exactly like the original recording, but likely not. So I think you're probably okay, but I'm not sure. You might want to do a little bit more research on that one. So sorry, I can't give you a exact answer on that. The bottom line is any content you put on YouTube, if it's not yours, then you could potentially not be allowed to do that. Now, I don't believe you would get a copyright strike for doing that. You would probably, like worst case scenario, I think YouTube will just identify that, oh wait, some of this here is not yours, so you can't monetize this video. You know, any earnings that video would make would go to the original owner of the material it deems as not yours. Okay, so that's the way that would be handled. But yeah, anyways, I hope that gives you something to think about and helps somewhat. Conductor Martin. Hello, Martin. How you doing? From Calgary. First timer with the live shows. Awesome. Welcome. One question. AdSense. I had problems with it when it asked for website and wouldn't accept the URL of my YouTube channel. Well, I'm not really sure what you mean by that either. So your YouTube channel is not your website. So if it's asking for a website, that would have to be something separate if you have a separate website. But if you don't, perhaps you could just leave that section blank is what I would do. So you don't have to tell it what your YouTube channel URL is because it knows. Yeah, so that would be only if you have a separate website. Like I have a separate website called robthemaritimer.com, so that's what I would put in that field. If you don't have like not everybody with a YouTube channel has a website. You don't necessarily have to have one. So anyways, I hope that helps. Here we go. In John's universe. Oh, I think the next one is the question. After quite a few, hello John, how you doing? After quite a few people who personally knew me subscribed to my channel initially, how long does it take YouTube to do its algorithm magic so I can start getting subscribers organically? So it's hard to know exactly. It's basically a ratio is the way I look at it. Like, so for example, if you have 0 subscribers and you let, a whole bunch of people know through Facebook, for example, and then you got 20 subscribers from people you know. I guess like once you start getting organic subscribers and they like once the number of organic subscribers that you have is greater than the number that you got from people that you know, then you'll know that YouTube is starting to do its work again. Okay, it just means, so the way I look at it is it just slows the process down. If you've already let people know, then don't worry about it. You've already let people know. It's okay. It just kind of, they will naturally, unless they are very interested in your content and, it is up their alley, in which case it's probably not a bad subscriber to have. But, after some time, for those people who aren't really that interested in it, they're just going to forget about it. And they perhaps won't subscribe, or if they've subscribed and then YouTube is letting them know whenever you come out with a new video, if they're not clicking on any of your videos when they come out, even though YouTube is putting it up there as an option for you to click, if they're not clicking on it, eventually YouTube won't show your videos as an option. Okay, so for example, like you can subscribe to hundreds, probably as many channels as you want. I think I'm over 100 or maybe even 200 that I've subscribed to over the years. Whenever I open up my YouTube homepage, what is there? There's like 16 options that I can choose from. So obviously there's not an option from all 200 people that I'm subscribed to, right? So it has to prioritize. So it starts with, okay, who does he normally watch? What types of videos does he normally watch? And things like this, right? So it's just time and content. So my advice to you would be, without knowing the numbers, just start posting videos, or keep posting videos. Every new video you put up on YouTube is more data, good data for YouTube to use to try to figure out who your audience is. And if those first 20 subscribers, I'm just guessing that maybe you got 20, if those first 20 are not clicking on those, well then, that's data too. That's data that you don't want because you want people to click on it. But the more times they serve it up to other people, the more chances that YouTube is going to find somebody organically and that they'll subscribe, and then that ball will start to roll. So it just might take a little bit longer, and I can't really answer how long it would take. I can tell you from experience, when I started my channel in January 1st, 2021, I had it in my mind. I wanted to go live as soon as the new year hit. I had set up my channel a few months before that, and I had 3 subscribers before I even posted a video. My 2 kids and my nephew. So that, I learned that's probably not what you're supposed to do. I started off fairly quickly, and I posted 9 videos in the month of January 2021. Okay, and at the end of that period, I had 6 subscribers. So 9 videos over the course of 30 days only brought me in 3 new subscribers. So I was at 6. Then I didn't post a video until like October. I went like 8 or 9 months without posting anything. But YouTube kind of was doing its thing in the background. And by the time October rolled around, I think I was at, over 200 subscribers. It just happened organically. Okay, so it will happen. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay, let me get back here and see if there are any other questions. Ambient Dave. Hello, Dave. How you doing? I'd like to ask about time management with organizing video uploads, etc. Okay, so kind of left that open-ended. Not really a question, but I guess maybe you're wondering how I handle time management, organizing video uploads. So, the way I do it, there's so many different ways to do it. So there's time management and there's also file management. So this is all I do. I don't have another job. I was doing some freelancing as well, but also in this office. I'm not doing that as much anymore. So now it's basically YouTube, and it's whatever I want to do on the day. So if I decide I want to go, if I've got an idea for a video, I'll write down a potential title and maybe a couple bullet points on one of my little yellow cards, and then I'll go outside, if it's going to be an outside one, and I'll make the video, or I'll record myself. When I come back to the office, I take my iPhone, which is where I recorded it to, and I will airdrop all the video files to my MacBook, and that might take a few minutes. If you don't have a MacBook, or if you have a Samsung phone or an Android, then you may have to plug it in to, with USB to your computer to transfer the files. Or you can use like a third-party step, which I've done. Sometimes if the files are large, AirDrop doesn't work, in which case what I do is I have the Google Drive app on my phone. I will upload it to my Google Drive account. Okay, then I'll open up my computer, I'll log into Google Drive, and I'll download it from Google Drive. So it's an extra step, but that works too. And for some people, that works great. Google Drive or iCloud or, well, there's all kinds, Dropbox, whatever you have for cloud storage, you can use that as like an intermediate step to get your stuff into your computer. And then comes the file management. So I'll create a folder in my current projects folder with today's date and the potential title, and then in that folder I'll have recordings. Well, let me just show you. Wrong button. There we go, that button. I'm going to bring down this here. So my projects. So this is, here, let me just get this out of here. You don't need to see that. You don't need to see that either. Okay, so this is my Finder window. It's called Finder in a Mac. If you're on a PC, you're used to File Manager. Same thing. And this is what I do. I set up a My Projects folder, and inside that I have whatever projects I'm working on. So this one here, the earlier you retire, the longer you will live. So, and I've got the date in that folder as well. So let's just go back to here. Don't tell people about your YouTube. That's the video that I made last Wednesday. I'll just double click here to get into there, and you can see how I've organized things. I have a recordings folder. If I go in there, there's only one file. So I recorded myself one long video file, and it's 5 gigabytes. That's because it was a 4K file, 4K 30 frames per second from my iPhone. So that's where I put that. I then created a Camtasia project, and here it is. And then, so I can double click that, and that will open. And then Epidemic Sound, any music that I download and use for the video, I put in there. This is the audio. So this is the original audio from the iPhone recording from my DJI mic. And then what I do is I open up Adobe Audition and I process that audio. Okay, so that's what this is, the processed version. So both of those are there. And then if I'm going to double click on this to open up the project in Camtasia. For those of you who use Camtasia, this might look familiar. If you don't use Camtasia and use something else, this should still look relatively familiar because most video editing software is similar or looks very similar. So if I'm just going to make some adjustments here so you can see everything. Let me move this like this so you can see everything. And then, yeah, so this is the video I made. And yeah, so I put some text on there. That's what these 3 things are. This is the audio. This is the video. Okay, so anyways, that's the project. That's where I edit the video. And as you can see, I didn't do a whole lot of editing. I added some text here. Right here, these 3 things. The location, town, and the trail name. I had one little edit here. You notice here there's a cut from there to there. If I just play through that, you can let me know if you can see where I edited it. Let's go for a walk, shall we? You do not want to see, it just kind of jumped over to the next. So once I say let's go for a walk, shall we, I must have said something else that I just wanted to cut out. I didn't get to the point quick enough, so I cut that out. And then went all the way here. See, there's no edits, no cuts here at all until we get to here. What's this thing here? Oh, that's when I put the the outside temperature on right there. That was a little text annotation that I put there. Hold out today. They're going to see what you're doing. Okay, there was that. And then we go right to the end, and that's all I did there was that's some music that I added to the end. And you can see some editing I did to the audio. I had it fade in and fade out. So at those things. Listen for it. All right, so that's all I got for you today. Music. Thanks for coming along on this walk with me by the ocean on a bitterly cold Nova Scotia afternoon. I've got to get back and do a live stream in about 15 minutes. All right. Right. Okay, so I recorded this before last week's live stream. I forgot. And then I edited it and put it out the next day. Notice right here, there was an edit here where I just edited the volume. There must have been something I wanted to take out there. What was that? Bring that back up. It was just a kind of like a bump in the audio. So I silenced it by doing that. And then I faded out the audio, and this is to fade out the visual. Like that, okay? So that's a little bit of an insight into my video editing of that video. And then once I edited it, I exported it or rendered it, and that resulted in this file here, the MP4 file. That's what I upload to YouTube. And then one other thing is thumbnails in here. That's where I make my thumbnail. I take a screenshot and then I load it into Canva, make the thumbnail, export it, and this is where I put them. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That's how I organize my files. And as far as time management, see, I don't even know if you asked more about time management, and I went on the tangent there about file management. But wait, what am I doing here? There we go. So as far as time management goes, that's the beauty of this, of YouTube in my mind. You can kind of do things whenever you want. So if I feel like, if it's a nice day outside and I've got something I want to make a video about, I'll go outside and I'll record the video. I have a rough schedule in my mind as to when I want to post videos. So ideally for this channel, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when I want to post videos. Now, last week I did not do on Friday because the one I posted Wednesday was still doing really, really well, and I didn't want to interrupt that. So I just wanted to let it go. And I asked ChatGPT, I had a little conversation with my assistant, and we talked it through, like, should I post this or should I just kind of let it go? And we came to the conclusion that we'll just let it go a little bit longer and maybe wait till Monday. So that's what I did. I waited till Monday, even though I had a video ready for last Friday. So that's, come up with a schedule that works for you, basically, and that won't burn you out and that you can handle without too much trouble. And then just try to stick with it, whether that's 1 video a week, 3 videos a week, 1 every 2 weeks, whatever. I think at least 1 a week is good if you really want to grow your channel. But that's just me. That's, there's more than one way to do this. So yeah, there you go. And I apologize in advance. I'm not going to be able to spend that much time on every question here, but I'll just keep going here. We've got another question. The algorithm needs time. So Narrowboat Living for Seniors. The algorithm needs time to put a video before the correct audience. Does it matter if you upload the video 1 week in advance and schedule it to go public on a specific date and time? Gary. Thank you, Gary. Good question. No, I don't think it matters that much. I have heard people, see, that's the thing. You're going to find YouTube videos that tell you one thing and other videos that tell you the opposite, okay? The bottom line is a lot of these things with YouTube are different for everybody, okay? Everything is specific to individuals, and what works on one channel may not work on another channel. Okay, I don't believe YouTube needs that much time to try to find your audience, to index things and whatnot. I truly believe if you have a video ready and you upload it, you can make it go public right away. As soon as you have your tags and your description and you've settled on a title and your thumbnail's ready, all that stuff. Once everything is ready, and if you have it all ready ahead of time before your video finishes uploading, which is something I try to do, I start the video uploading process, and because of my internet speed, it typically takes up to an hour for my videos to upload. In that time, I am settling on a title that I had an idea beforehand. I'm settling on the description and the tags, and I go into Canva and I make the thumbnail. And I try to have that all done within that hour, 30 to 60 minutes of my video uploading. And then, of course, once it uploads, YouTube needs a little bit of time to process the video. What that means, it's creating multiple versions of your video. Okay, so if I upload a video in 4K, 30 frames per second, let's say, YouTube is also going to have to create a 1080p version, a 720p version, a 420, is it? I don't know, all kinds of different versions, because not everybody is going to be able to take advantage and watch your 4K version of your video. If they're using an old phone that will only display 1080p, that's all YouTube is going to make available to that viewer. Okay? It saves bandwidth, right? Why would YouTube send you the absolute best quality version if the device you're watching it on can't tell the difference between 4K or 720p, right? They'll send you the 720p version. Another reason they may send you a lower version is if your internet connection with whatever device you're using, let's say you're on a mobile phone and you're outside and you're using the mobile phone network to connect to the internet and watch your videos. If you don't have a very good signal, if you don't have a very good signal, then YouTube is not going to send you a version that's going to have to be buffered every so often, right? They're going to send one that will play, as good as it can, which could mean a lower quality version because your cell phone connection isn't great. Okay, so that's what processing is. YouTube will process your video, create all kinds of different versions, and you can see them if you go into your settings for any video and then see all the different versions you could choose from. Yeah, so that's how that works. And back to answering the question. See, here I go again, another long-winded answer. I feel like YouTube's servers, algorithms, AI, whatever you want to call it, is good enough to be able to figure out things fairly quickly. For example, I believe, again, I don't work for YouTube or Google, so what I know is what I've learned in doing this myself. But I believe what YouTube is doing now is they are transcribing your video as well, like behind the scenes, right? So they don't just have to rely on your title and your tags and your description. They can also extract text from your video. Like if I upload a 10-minute video, they're going to convert that into a text version. They're not necessarily going to share it like that, but that's just for them. And then they'll be able to, figure out what are the keywords that work here. What words and phrases are you using? What's your video about? And it'll use that as well to try to figure out who you're trying to reach. And then they're going to go try to put your video in front of the people they think want to watch your video. And I don't think they need that much time. The other reason I don't think they need that much time is because, like, when I watch the performance of my video once it gets released, let's say tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I come out with a video, it goes public. It typically starts off pretty good. Like, get a lot of views early on, and then it levels off. Okay, so for you, it'd be this way. That, starts off good, and then it levels off over time, right? So what's happening is the very first people to see the thumbnail or clicking on it and watching it, right? They are the most devoted subscribers, if you will, the ones that obviously watch most, if not all, of my videos. They'll be the ones that'll be presented with my thumbnail first, and they'll likely click and watch it. As time goes on, YouTube will the other subscribers, they're sending it out to subscribers at first. And then based on how the subscribers are reacting to the video, how good is the click-through rate? How much of the video are they watching? Is it a good video or not? Based on all that, YouTube will then decide, do they send it out to more people or not? So I guess the first wave, if you will, the way I look at it, the first wave of viewers to any new video you put up there is from your devoted subscribers, like your loyal subscribers, okay? The ones who watch everything. That's the way I look at it. So that could take half a day to 24 hours, and then sometimes I'll notice another bump up. If it was a success with my initial subscribers, then they may push it out to more people, and then I might get a bump up. If it's successful with them, then they'll push it out to even more people. So it's not like as soon as you post a video, that's it. Based on what they know now, that's going to decide how your video is going to do. It can change over time, and it typically does change over time. So there you go. I hope that helped. Another long-winded answer by me. Hello, Kate in the UK. Has a question. Shoot talking head, then overlay photos and videos, or layout photos and videos and voice. Sorry, I got to read this again. Oh, shoot talking head, then overlay photos and videos, or layout photos and videos and voiceover. My travel vlogs are taking me forever to edit. I enjoy the process, but still. Okay, so I think I know what you're getting at. You want to speed up your editing process. The way I would suggest you do it is shoot the talking head first. Shoot the talking head part first until you're happy with it. You may have to shoot additional parts if you've forgotten something, right? And then you can put them in later. But for all intents and purposes, your first take should be what you put in the video editing program. Not necessarily your first take, but the main talking head part. Shoot that first, put it in your video editing software. If you captured your audio separately, then bring that in too and sync them up. And then start playing it through. Like, then you want to look at it from a point of view of, does it make sense in the order that you said things? Are you telling a story? Does it make sense? And as you're listening through it, like the first thing is go right to the beginning and make sure that you're getting to the point real quick, right? Not necessarily with the answer that you're providing in the video, but at least tell them what problem you're about to solve in this video within the first 5 to 10 seconds, if possible. And then get right into it. If you have to cut out some dead space, do that. But then just make sure your story flows. And then every once in a while, you may decide that, okay, at this point, I wanted to show some B-roll. Then you put the B-roll in there. You don't have to cut out your talking head part. Leave that in and just put the B-roll on the track above, and it covers your talking head, right? Make sure you don't insert audio from the B-roll, because you presumably want to keep your own talking audio. Not always, but sometimes, right? So yeah, and then any photos and overlays and anything like that you want to put in afterwards, do that all after your storyline is laid out with your talking head part. That's the way I would do that. Hello, Oregon. How you doing? Hello, Weezer, Lee in Michigan. How you doing? Anaholic says, I know you like to use AI. How is your Chinese? Not good. I don't know a single word in Chinese or Mandarin. But I know where you're going with that. Yeah. What was that? What was it called? Deep Seek? Is it called? Deep Seek apparently is the new. I'm going to look into that a little bit more, because that's interesting what's going on there. Apparently the Chinese figured out a way to build something very similar to ChatGPT at, I think, what did I hear? 1/30th of the cost. So it only cost them $6 million to make this thing, whereas OpenAI has spent like hundreds of millions of dollars to build theirs. Yeah, very interesting. That just hit the news yesterday. And anybody who had NVIDIA stock took a bit of a dive. I think it's holding steady today, though. Here's another question. I get some views, but no subs. Should I keep or do more of what the most popular video, travel packing videos? Always double down on what's working. So look at your videos. Go to your videos tab and then click on popular to see which videos are the most popular, getting the most views. And then, yeah, try to repeat that success. So try to figure out what was working with that. Was it the topic you were talking about? Was it the way you edited the video? And try to replicate that success. That's kind of what YouTube is all about, just trying to, it's a lot of trial and error, and it's like a big scientific process. You're going through it, trying to figure out what you can improve upon. Yeah, so I would do that. I would for example, last Wednesday, I came out with that video, Don't Tell Anyone About Your YouTube Channel. Friday, the plan was to make a tutorial type how-to video. So I had just finished telling you guys, I think last Tuesday in this live stream, that I'm going to do 3 videos a week, 2 of which are probably going to be how-to, sitting here and going through software, and 1 of which will be kind of outside or in that chair talking about a subject that applies to, starting YouTube. But then that video last Wednesday took off and did really well. And then, ChatGPT suggested, well, you probably don't want to come up with another video yet because that one is still running. And then your next video, when you do put one out, probably should be along those same lines. Like, double down on that. So in that respect, yeah, you kind of do want to listen to your audience, in that if something's really resonating with them, like it was with my video last week, then make more like that, or maybe try to answer some comment questions in a follow-up video. So that's what I would do. Try to double down on what's working. Newfoundland, hello Newfoundland, how you doing? Hello Jason from New Brunswick, how are you doing? Okay, so I'm going to start speeding up. John from North Carolina, how are you? Going through. Okay, here's a very general question from Robin. Hello, Robin. How you doing? A newcomer to videos. I am like a sponge, learning everything I can. Awesome. Love your video. How long have you been doing YouTube videos? So 4 years. 4 years ago, I basically started totally green, brand new, didn't really know much. But I've only really started growing, I'm going to say, since I took breaks. In the first over 3 years of my 4 years, I took significant breaks. And I made a video about that, kind of walked you through my whole journey. And last June, I was at just over 3,000 subscribers. And in the last 6 months or 7 months, I've grown to 34,000 now. So most of my growth has come in the last 6 months. And it's just a matter of practicing. So I had done a lot of videos before I started to really get some traction. And then I just listened to my audience. Like I said, I when something works, double down on that, make more like that. And then if you keep making videos that satisfy what your audience wants to see you make, then that's a recipe for success. So yeah, that's how long I've been at it. And I knew nothing about video editing when I started. I knew nothing about cameras. I mean, I had a phone that I knew I could take photos and videos with, but that's about it. Okay, I'm just going through here. Okay, the microphone. So we've decided that mic is better than this one. That's good. Actually, I'm just going to take this off because I'm not using it now. I love this. Like, if you guys are ever interested in, actually, let me just click that off. This mic system is really cool. This DJI mic, I have to put it in front of my face so it'll focus on it. It's got a little clip like that. Okay, and then right there on the microphone itself, which is this side, is where you would put this on. It just kind of clips on. I have to hide my face. But what's really cool about it is instead of using that clip, this little square here is a magnet, which sticks to that. So that's why I put that little magnet under my shirt and this over it, and then I can put it down here. Because I found when I clip it up here, it's too loud, and there's clipping, right? Distortion, because I have it set too loud. So if I put it right here, I find it's perfect. And then for the videos I made, the last 2 videos I made, I had it here, but you couldn't see it because then I had my hoodie over top. So it was under my hoodie with this and this under my hoodie, and it still picked my voice up just fine. And it was quite windy too. So really nice the way that worked. Let me just put this away. Bear with me one sec. I'm gonna take this out. This is the other, you can still hear me? Yeah. This is the other end of that, it connects via USB-C. So that I just had plugged into my dock. And when I go outside, I plug that into my iPhone, which is a newer iPhone, which is why USB-C works. But this also, if you have an older iPhone, it also comes with this lightning connector. So it will connect to any type of iPhone. Let me just put all this back so I don't lose anything. In the case, which charges it up, which is perfect. Okay. A little reorganizing here. All right, where were we? Oh, here we go. Question from the Weezer. When shooting indoors in your studio, do you set your camera lens to an exact focal length or automatic? Also, what are your camera settings set to automatic mostly, or do you tweak them? Mostly automatic. Okay, so when I make a video inside there, okay, with that camera, that's a ZV-E10 by Sony, I have it set to automatic white balance. Okay, so any of you, actually, I'm thinking of Jason right now. I know you're a photographer, so you'll probably cringe. Maybe plug your ears and don't listen to this. I use automatic white balance, AWB. I use the lens, which is the Sigma. I think it's 16 millimeter f1.4 lens. So it gives you that nice blurry background, basically. And that can't be changed. It's not a zoom lens, so I have to place it where I want it. As for the focus, that's what you mentioned, the focal length for the focus, I have it set to automatic. And I know that's probably not right. I should probably, quite honestly, I've done it that way because I'm just doing this in here alone myself, and I'd probably have to put something exactly where my face would normally be when I'm doing my talking and focus on that, set it up, and then do it. I just find automatic is just, I don't have to worry about anything. All it means though is when I sit down in front of the camera, it will automatically zoom on my face, right? If I then move out of the way off to the side, if Peanut, my cat, is on the chair behind me, on the back of the chair, it will then zoom in on her face, right? Or if she's not, it'll zoom in on whatever. It'll decide to focus on, sorry, I used the wrong term. It won't zoom in. It will focus on a face first. So human face or an animal's face, it works. And in fact, not even just my face. When it's me, it usually, there's a square that goes around my eye. So it'll pick out one of my eyes and focus on that. So that would be the sharpest thing. But if I move close, so this one right here is also set the same way. This is an older camera, but the same lens. It's a Sony A6400 with the same lens. So if I get up and move closer, I'm still in focus. Okay, if I move back, I'm still in focus. All right, I move up quick. It might take a second, but then I get in focus. It's all automatic. If I didn't have it set to automatic, then I wouldn't really be able to move around and still be in focus, right? So that's what I do. Automatic everything. And then the other settings, 4K. I have mine set to 4K 30 when I'm making videos, and I record directly to my SD card in the camera. Right now, though, I'm doing a live stream. So this live stream is only 1080p is all it can do. I don't change it in the camera. The camera's still set to 4K, but Ecamm Live, the software that I use, it's only capturing it at 1080p, and that's what it's sending to YouTube. The other thing is, what is the other thing? Shutter speed. That one that I learned by watching YouTube videos that it should be 1 over double your frame rate. So I'm using 30 as my frame rate. So 1 over 60 is my shutter speed. Okay. And the reason that is important, like some people might think, well, if you can go 1 over, 1,000, why wouldn't you do that? It'd be a clearer picture all the time, no matter how fast you're moving. And that's true. If you set your shutter speed really high, then you could freeze the frame afterwards, like in editing software, and always be perfectly in frame with no blur. But the reality is, when you're making a video, you want it to look as natural as possible. And I guess somewhere, sometime, somebody did a study and they've figured out that 1 over double the frame rate is best mimics what our eyes can naturally see. So for instance, like if I wave my fingers like this, if you were to stop that at any time when I'm moving, it's going to be blurry. But like if you're in the room here with me and I did that, you're going to see blur as well. Your eyes will see blur. Your eyes are not as fast as 1 over 1,000 shutter speed. Okay, so I think, now Jason, you can correct me, or any other photographer out there can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the shutter speed is, you'd only really ever want to set that really high if you are trying to get a still shot. Like let's say you want to take a video of yourself doing a whole bunch of different poses, right? Then maybe set your shutter speed really high, or low, I guess, 1 over a high number. And so you'll be able to get some clear shots. Or if you're taking a bunch of photos of something that's a moving object, like a bird trying to lift itself out of the water and trying to get airborne, you may want to snap a whole bunch of photos burst style and have them all be clear. Then you would want to set your shutter speed really high, I think. But I'm not a photographer, so, and I don't. If I take a photo, it's with my iPhone, and that's it. So anyways, I hope that helped. Okay. Fruits of Living started YouTube this week. I got 12 subscribers, trying to balance enjoying the process with getting more views and subscribers. The only thing you can do to get more views and subscribers is just to improve your video making. That's it. And try not to worry too much about the analytics. Well, I mean, you can use the analytics to try to figure out which videos are doing the best and try to kind of mimic that. But the subscribers don't even really matter that much. It's more the views. Once you get, monetized and all that, it's the views that matter more. But yeah, of course, I guess the views come, more views will come the more subscribers you have. But yeah, just focus on making better videos, getting better with each new video you post, getting better with your thumbnails, right? And post consistently. Figure out a schedule that works for you and stick with it. And if you can do all that and try to make videos that are helpful for people, those are the ones that I find work the best and have the best success. Okay. Yes, it's freeing. Let the algorithm do it. Absolutely. Sophia, how you doing? Good to see you again. Question for your walk and talk videos. How do you decide on where to go walk? Will you ever walk in town? Great question. So I've got an idea for a video. So yeah, I live about 20 to 30 minutes from a city. Halifax is around 30 minutes from here. And it's a city of, I think it might have just hit 500,000 people. So it's a good sized city. Biggest city in the Maritime, in Canada, but I think it's what, number 10 maybe on the list in sizes of cities in our country. But anyways, it's a city and vibrant city, lots to do there. I think what I'm going to do at some point, I think I'm going to wait for it to get warmer, is I'm going to go make a video in the city, walking on the boardwalk. So it's a port city, so there's waterfront and a boardwalk. Lots of stuff going on in the summertime. Cruise ships regularly come here. But anyways, I'm going to make a video walking down there with a whole bunch of people around, which is so far outside my comfort zone, it's not even funny. And the whole point is there's 2 points. Number one, to get outside of my comfort zone and just show you guys that I can conquer those fears, right? Like people could ask me, what are you doing? I don't want to be in this video. What are you filming? What are you making? Like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm going to get all kinds of questions, but in reality, I might not get any. So there's that. But also number two, just to give you guys a different view, right? You might be getting tired of the walking on the trail around here where I live. So just to give a different view. So that's in my plans to do someday. And also, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Peggy's Cove, but that's like a 40-minute drive, about 40-minute drive from here. I plan on going down there and making a video as well. Not as many people, but kind of touristy, so there will be some people there as well. Just to give, different look, different places to go. I mean, this trail that I walk on, it's literally 300 kilometers long. So I could, I could give all kinds, but they all look the same, right? It's woods with some ocean views. So wherever I go on that trail, it's going to look kind of similar, but I'll try to change it up and give you some different places to look at. How many videos do we need to make before the algorithm starts putting it out there, though? I really can't answer that. It really depends on your content and how many people are interested in it, really. So and the results that you're getting. It's really hard to answer definitively how many videos. I mean, it might be, some people get noticed right away, one video. For some people, it might take 100, right? I'm of the belief that you probably don't even want to get noticed right away because you're not if you're, unless you have a background in video editing, then you need time to develop your skills and to get good at not just video editing, but making videos and talking to the camera, like all of that stuff to be able to deliver a tight message. And it's something I'm still working on. Like a lot of my videos, I know they flop because I am just not quick enough at getting to the point in the beginning of the videos. And sometimes in the middle of the videos, I veer off course, start talking about something I wasn't even going to talk about. And, that's just something I struggle with. I think for the most part, the people who do subscribe to me are okay with that, and otherwise they wouldn't have subscribed to me. But I do think it also holds me back a little bit. So it's something I'm working on. So that's all I can really suggest. Identify what you're not good at or what needs work, and work on it and practice it. And hopefully by the time you've got 30, 50 videos out there, you will have learned a lot of things about making videos, and then your videos will naturally start getting pushed out more because you're better at making videos, and they are actually resonating with people. So that's kind of the better way to look at it. There's really no way to put a hard number on that, though, unfortunately. Okay, any other questions here? I like that. Having a genuine audience is essential for the YouTube analytics. I have subscribed. Thank you. Hello, Gene. How you doing? Toronto Walker. Hello. New to the live stream. Great. Oh, wow. We've got 82 people in here. That's awesome. Very good. Very good. The Dog Father. I have a channel. It's about me and my dogs. I also do motivational shorts. Awesome. Very good. I just signed in StreamYard, waiting my 24 hours to gain subscribers and watch hours to get monetized. Any hints or advice doing my very first live stream? Awesome. Very good. Yeah, I've got a little bit of advice. Anybody who wants to get into live streaming, first of all, it's a really good way to boost your watch hours. Eventually, I mean, your first one might not get a lot, but if you start doing it regularly, that's a great way to increase watch hours if that's what you're struggling with getting. It's also a great way to connect with your audience too. And you can tie it into your videos. In your videos, you can say at the end of your video, I haven't done that lately, but I used to. I used to say, anybody wants more help with editing videos, come on by every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and I do a live stream and I answer questions. So I kind of tried to advertise it as much as I could in my videos to kind of help with that. So, but yeah, so some advice is be prepared with something to talk about. Be prepared to talk to nobody. All right. So for me, what I did is, since I was making videos on how to edit videos at the time, I had like a tutorial ready to go through, and I was going to edit a video. I had recorded a video, and I had my files already in the computer, all set to go. I had Camtasia loaded, and I had a project file started, and I was all ready to demonstrate something. So, and I used StreamYard is what I used when I first went live. 2022, I think. Actually, you can go back to the my channel here. If you click on live, these are all my live streams. If I go to oldest, there it is, streamed 2 years ago. Yeah, there we go. That was my first ever stream.
Check, test.
I needed a haircut for one.
We're live. Hello.
I was nervous as hell. I really was. I was really nervous at the time. That's in the old house. But yeah, I did it for an hour and 25 minutes. And if I just scooch to the end, does it show? Here we go. There was a few 6 comments 2 years ago. Yeah, so I had that was after the fact. But here's the live chat. Okay, so for those who don't know, Liam A6, that's my son. Oh, sorry, you can't even see that, or can you? If I just bring that over like that, and we scroll down, there we go. So yeah, Liam A6, that was my son. So he was ready. I had him lined up, ready to ask me questions, but that wasn't even necessary. This guy here, don't know who that is, but he tuned in. So there was really nobody to talk to, but I talked for an hour and 23 minutes, and I just went over something. Yeah, I was sharing my screen.
Right, it's trying to snap to this here. There.
Okay, so very different than my live streams today. But yeah, you got to start somewhere. So yeah, I had something ready to. Is this picking up my monitor here? Is it looks like there? I'll just push my monitor back a little bit. Yeah, just be ready with something to talk about, and maybe even have some questions prepared in advance that you can answer. Just say, I've got a couple questions that I'm thinking you guys might want the answers to. So here's the first one, and you can even create a little graphic so the question pops up. You can do that in StreamYard where you click something and then the question will pop up on the screen, and then you can answer it and whatnot. So yeah, that's my advice. Prepare in advance and have fun with it. And just, it's great practice with talking to a camera too. It really is. I think it helped me a lot over the years. Okay, what time we got here? 3:11, so we're still good for time. Here's Gadgets Eco. Hello, how you doing? Is it necessary to come live for getting viral? I think what you're asking, is it necessary to go live in order for a video to go viral? No, it's not necessary at all. There's lots of channels out there that have videos that have gone viral and they don't do live streams at all. I just think it's just another tool at your disposal. Going live is a great way to start connecting with your audience, and you can even put it in a pinned comment in your videos. If you want to stop by on Tuesdays at 2:00, and ask me any questions you want, feel free. And then they will be more, if they stop by and start talking with you, they'll be more inclined to watch all your videos and it'll start to snowball. I think it's great for that, but you don't need to do it if you don't want to. Where can we get copyright-free music? I use Epidemic Sound. It's not free, but it's got awesome music. If you want something free, YouTube has their own library. You can get copyright-free stuff there in the library tab in YouTube Studio. But yeah, Epidemic Sound is one. Audio, spelt with 2 I's, that's another one. Motion Array is one. Storyblocks is another. There's lots of different services. I personally like Epidemic Sound, and I have a link to that below if anybody is interested in having a look at that. And just disclaimer, if you do click that link and sign up, then I might get a small commission from that. So that's how that works. And if you do that, thank you very much. Another question here. Hello, Rob from KC. After creating a YouTube intro video on Canva, how do I add sound to it without getting strikes? Can I also use the sounds from CapCut? Okay, so I've never edited a video from scratch with CapCut. The reason I'm a little bit hesitant is because CapCut is owned by the ByteDance, which owns TikTok. And I know with TikTok, when you post a TikTok or upload a video to TikTok, you can then choose music, like commercial music from within TikTok, okay? They must have a deal with, the recording companies that allows you to do that that way, right? So I don't know how it works with CapCut. If CapCut also has music built in there, it might be the same thing, right? I don't know if it's commercial music or not. I don't know that. So you'll want to check on that first. It might already be royalty-free music, but maybe only if you use CapCut to edit your video. I don't think you'd be able to export the audio only from CapCut and then bring it into Canva, for instance, okay? You could probably do it the other way around, like you export your Canva video and put it into CapCut and then finish it up there. That's probably fine. But I would double check with CapCut just to make sure that you can do that. Otherwise, to avoid getting strikes, meaning copyright strikes, you have to use royalty-free music. So again, you can go to the YouTube library to find some, or a service like Epidemic Sound, which is not free, but that's why you're able to use it. Okay, so, and yeah, the way it works with Epidemic Sound, when I download music from Epidemic Sound and put it in my video, I can then have it play in that video forever, even if I cancel my Epidemic Sound membership later, okay? But after my membership is canceled, I can't use that music, even though I've already downloaded it. I can't use that in the future on future projects if I no longer have an Epidemic Sound license at that time. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, so you have to be careful with that. You made it, no problem, a little bit late. Go here, Broken Toe Hiking. I like that name, it's cool. I'm going to be starting an outdoor channel this spring, hiking, backpacking, camping, etc. Is there any concern about the products I am using, such as what brands of backpack equipment, food, etc.? Good question. Let me take a drink. So I wouldn't necessarily be concerned, no. Look at it this way. Brands are going to want their stuff seen in videos, okay? A better way to look at it is try to think a little bit into the future. If you haven't started the channel yet, but that's what you're going to do, maybe part of your okay, I'm going to assume that you're going to try to build this into a bit of a business and make money out of this. And if that's the case, if that's what you want to do, then brand sponsorships is a great way. It's a great revenue stream to add to a YouTube business. Okay, you don't have to just rely on YouTube AdSense and the money you can make from that for your YouTube business. In fact, most channels the AdSense money they get from being monetized through YouTube is not their largest revenue stream. Their largest revenue stream tends to be something else, whether that's selling courses or coaching or brand sponsorships tends to be the number one thing for a lot of creators. That said, I've not done any yet. I've had a lot of offers, but nothing that has nothing that like I don't want to just take on a sponsor just for the money. Like it needs to make sense. It needs to be something that I use because I don't want to get into. I don't want to be recommending stuff that I don't use myself or believe in myself. Because that would be doing a disservice to you. But having said all that, if your plan is to turn it into a business, then start thinking about things like, well, maybe like start thinking about the brands that you do like to use. Like maybe there's a certain brand of hiking boots that you like to use, right? Use them. And then maybe at some point in the future, if they don't reach out to you, you can reach out to them. Say, you know what? I've got a channel, a YouTube channel. I'm getting, this many views a month and this many subscribers a month, and would you be interested in sponsoring me? Because I wear your stuff anyways, and I can do a little ad for your hiking boots if you'd like to sponsor me, right? So I would be mindful of what you use and what you wear and the equipment you use and all that in your videos, with that in mind. That might this be a good company to sponsor me in the future, right? But yeah, I wouldn't worry about using their stuff and it being in the video. That's not really a concern at all. Like putting things in video, the things I'd be worried about putting in your video would be if you're hiking and you hike past somebody who has music playing, right? And that music might be commercial music. And even if that's picked up by your audio, right, your video could get flagged by YouTube and you might not be able to monetize that video. Now, YouTube has a really cool tool in its editor that will strip that music out using AI and leave everything else in. It's really cool the way that works. But that's the kind of thing I'd be mindful of. And the other thing would be kids. Don't show. Now, laws might be different for different countries and different states or provinces, but generally speaking, I don't think you'd want to put people's kids in your videos. Or if they are there, then blur out their faces or something like that. And when I say kids, typically under, under 18? Again, it depends on the laws in your own, where you are. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about the brand of hiking boots that you're wearing or backpack. No, not at all. Good luck with it. Here's a question. I watched your video on how to create a YouTube channel. I have an additional question. Does it mean you need 2 Gmail accounts to safely create and operate a YouTube account? No, not necessarily. So the way I've done it is I do have a Gmail account. It's my own personal account, and I use that to log in to YouTube and all that. But it's not the email address that I use. Like if you guys want to reach out to me, I have an email address available for you guys to send me an email. And you would go to my About section on my YouTube channel, and I think you have to click that you're not a robot, and then it'll show you what the email address is. But it's workwith@robthemaritimer.com. So I've created my own domain name, robthemaritimer.com, and I have a website that uses that. And so I use that email address if people want to contact me. So it's not a Gmail address. It's just another email address. But you could use 2 Gmail addresses if you want to. Obviously, I have to pay for that robthemaritimer.com address, Google domains to get the domain name and then and the hosting and all that stuff. But if you want to go with 2 Gmail accounts, which are totally free, you can do it that way. But it's good practice. It's good practice to have a different email address that you give out to people than the one that you use to log into your YouTube account. It just makes it one step harder for hackers to get in, right? So I hope that helps. Any tips for a motivational shorts channel? I don't know. So I don't do many shorts. I've done some, but they were excerpts out of my longer form videos, and I used Opus Clip to create those. Kind of created them automatically. But if you want to make motivational shorts, like I've seen them before, and there's a lot of channels like that. I mean, there's a way to make them quickly with Canva, like almost like to make like 50 of them very quickly, using like a database and a spreadsheet and all that kind of stuff. But tips, I guess my biggest tip would be with anything, just be consistent. Like for motivational shorts, I'm thinking maybe you want to do one every day, right? Do one daily, and yeah, if you're putting yourself in the videos, I think that helps a lot more. So maybe that's what you're considering. I've seen motivational ones where it's just like a quote, maybe some music and maybe some video in the background. They're very easy to make, and a lot of people are making those thinking that they can, easily create a channel that makes them a lot of money, which is not typically the case. But if you are going to do some talking to the camera and deliver a motivational quote in a short, I think that would help a lot more. Because a lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people are really afraid to put themselves on camera, or maybe afraid is not the right word. They're not comfortable talking to the camera, and so a lot of people are just looking for ways around doing that. So because of that, if you want to, rise above and be noticed more so than most everybody else, put yourself in your videos. That would be my biggest piece of advice. So Clementine, how you doing? Nice to see you. Could you please make a video about how you improve the audio of your recordings, please, as this is one of my main issues. Yes, at some point I will make a video on that. The reason I've kind of, there's 2 things. First of all, I already do have a video on that. I show exactly how I do it in my starter course. but without that, I can tell you that I use Adobe Audition to do it. And there's just some things like equalizer, noise gate, compression. I can't even remember. It's a preset that I've got in my Adobe Audition now, that when I put the audio in, I just press a button and it does a whole bunch of things, and then it's created. But yes, I will make a video at some point that shows the exact steps as to what I do. But if you are interested in that course, I already show it in there. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Okay, here we go. Time management is a big enemy of mine. I don't upload as much as I should due to my day job. And that's tough. I mean, I understand that. That's hard. It's hard to find the time. There's only so many hours in the day, right? So I guess what I would say about that is you just have to, if you're passionate enough about your YouTube channel, you should be able to find the time that you need to do this, and it's whatever works for you. So if I had a 9-to-5 job, for example, and I had to leave the house by, I don't know, 8:30 to go to a 9-to-5 job, I'd probably get up at 5, and I would work from 5 to 8, right? And then spend half an hour to get ready, and then I'd leave for my work. That's the way I would do it, because I'm a morning person. I get up at the latest, I get up at 6. So between 5 and 6 is when I get up in the morning. But that's just me. That's not everybody. For other people who are night hawks, maybe that works best. So when you get home from work and, after supper or whatever, or if you have kids and they're, put in bed and whatnot, maybe then you can have some spare time. So before work or after work or weekends, right? Anytime that you have free time, and then just make it work for you. But yeah, it's important that you love it. It's important that you are motivated and that you really want to do it. Otherwise, it'll become a chore to try to find time to do it, if that makes sense. So again, for me, I do my best work in the morning. So if I can be in my office from 5 till 8, that's 3 solid hours a day that I could. Now, it means I'm probably going to be in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. But so yeah, it's whatever works for you. But yeah, time management is certainly important. Okay, looking for more questions. Oh, we have a super chat. Todd Moores. Thank you very much, Todd. And I'm sorry I'm late with your question. Yes, I'm still not very good at staying current with these questions. I try. But let me answer your question now, Todd. I have an iPhone 11. Is it better to get a mic for this and start YouTube channel now, or wait to purchase the iPhone 16 and post later? Mic compatibility for 11 and 16. Okay, let me put it this way. If you had an iPhone 8, I would tell you the same thing I'm about to tell you with your iPhone 11. Start now with what you got. The iPhone 8, which I had an iPhone 8, is totally fine for making YouTube videos. It's more than enough, okay? And if I recall, the iPhone 8 had a lightning adapter. I just upgraded from the 14 to the 16, like a month ago. My 14 had the old lightning adapter, whereas the new 16 has the USB-C adapter. So they're a little different. But I know the 8 also had the lightning. So anything between 8 and 14, which includes your 11, has the lightning adapter. I think if you're going to be making videos outside, I would suggest getting a mic for your phone. If your budget is limited, you don't have to get the wireless mic system that I've got, the DJI one, which would work for your iPhone 4 or 11 and also 16. When you do decide to upgrade, it'll work for both. But you don't have to go that way. You can just get a $30 lav mic that has a wire on it that you run up under your shirt or whatever and clip it here. And it plugs into your phone. Just make sure you get the right. So you may have to get an adapter to make sure that it has a lightning connector, which I think they're $5 or $6. They're not very much. Or if you go to Amazon, you can get a lav mic with that adapter already on it. So you could do that. And yeah, that's all you would need. And the reason, and then if your lav mic doesn't come with one of those wind guards, I'd spend the extra. Again, I think it's only $5 or $6 to get the little wind, like this little thing, something like this for a lav mic. Get that, and then all the wind noise will be gone, and that's all you need. If your budget allows, I recommend that DJI mic because it's awesome, but it's expensive. That's the DJI mic 1. They never called it the 1, but there is a 2 now that's $100 more. Save yourself $100, you can get that one. But it's still like well, in US, I think it's like $200. It's not cheap. But yeah, no, as far as the video goes, an iPhone 11, you can still do 4K, I believe, with that. I think you could do 4K with the iPhone 8. Yeah, that's all you need. Yes, the cameras get better, but I know channels who have done amazing with a far worse camera than an iPhone 8 even has. I'm thinking of Alexa Serenoja from Finland. She has a channel that she just started last year, and has done amazingly well. And I think she's up. She's up over 20,000 subscribers now. And she used until recently the camera in her laptop, right? Like the little tiny camera at the top of her laptop, which is a horrible camera, but it worked for her, right? And it's fine. So your iPhone 11, totally fine. You don't need to upgrade to the 16 for that reason. Now, you may have storage issues, so you might have to wipe a bunch of photos and videos off of it, depending on how large or how much storage you have in your iPhone. So keep that in mind. But yeah, there you go. I hope that helped, Todd. And thanks again for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Hello, Barb. How you doing? Good to see you. Want to get outside and start recording. Good luck with that. Go for it. Jason's watching it snow. Okay, let me see. Looking for another question here. I think I'm going to so yeah, we talked a little bit about, so I'm a big believer in using ChatGPT. I love it. It's the only real AI thing that I shouldn't say that. There's a couple tools in Canva that I think they call them AI, like background remover, that I use. That's awesome. But other than that, ChatGPT is the AI that I use, and I use it all the time for asking questions to help me with titles and descriptions and tags. And I bounce ideas off of ChatGPT as to what video I should make next. And it'll give me a list of 10 choices, and I'll go with one, and then I'll say, but I don't like the title. Can you give me 10 more options for the title? And it'll do that. And I'll say, okay, great, I'm going to go with this one. Can you give me some ideas for, what text to put on the thumbnail? That's different than the title text. But, yeah, and it helps me with that. So, but what I'm going to do, I think, I've got the hiccups or something. Somebody earlier mentioned the new Chinese one, DeepSeek. I'm going to take a look at that, and I want to compare how good it is for a YouTuber. Like the questions that I ask ChatGPT, I want to do a little comparison to see which is better and if the results are the same, right, between ChatGPT and DeepSeek. I think that might be interesting to know. Plus, it's something that people are probably just becoming aware of, so maybe, might be able to piggyback on a trend a little bit, and that might help the video do well. So I'm going to make a video on that. If not tonight, then maybe by the end of the week. So just a little bit of news for what's coming down the pipe there. Okay, just going to scroll quick. I'm going to pick up the pace and scrolling here, try to look for some questions. Oh, here's one. Are short films of about 1 minute also played on YouTube, or films that are too short not supported? Well, there's shorts. YouTube Shorts can now be up to 3 minutes, and I've had shorts as short as I think even 15 seconds, maybe 24 seconds or something like that, which is no problem. If you upload a video that's under 3 minutes and it's vertical, right, like portrait mode, it will be treated as a short by YouTube. If it's under 3 minutes but it's horizontal, then it won't. It'll be, but in terms of a minimum length for that type of video, I'm not sure. I think I've seen videos that were less than a minute. So I think that's no problem at all. Okay, where is Peanut tonight? I'll show you. She is here. She's just being a little bit antisocial. There she is. Peanut, what are you doing? What are you doing? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? No. Not today. But yeah, she's here. She's never too far away. Well, she is far away when I go for my walks outside. She doesn't come on those. That she'd probably be gone. Oh, here's a good question from Dan. In your interview with a fellow from Camtasia, that was Jason, he said a new version was coming shortly. Do you know when it will be released? I don't, but it should be soon. Good question. I'll try to find out, Dan. Just Mike. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you. I'm an inspiration. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Do you ever experience burnout? How do you prevent that? So far, not yet. No, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm not trying to do too much. I take breaks, right? I'll watch a movie at night or hang out with friends on the weekend. So no, I'm not burning out yet. It's not something I feel like I have to do. So I'm just having fun with it. So not yet, but it is something that you have to be aware of. You got to make time for friends and family as well, like anything, right? But yeah, so far so good. Okay. Lindsay Murphy. Hello, Lindsay. How you doing? New to your channel and have fully appreciated you take on navigating YouTube. I've been on the platform since 2017. Very good. Good luck with it. You've been at it longer than I have. Okay, looking for more questions. Here is one. Question from Eric. Hi, Rob. I have a question about the choice of country. I am Norwegian, no doubt about it. However, my content will probably be more popular in the US. Should I change my channel to USA? No. Well, I mean, I don't really know what you mean by change your channel to USA. I didn't, like when you say where you are located, if you're saying where you're located, I'm just trying to think now. Where have I told YouTube that I am actually in Canada? I guess in my settings, if I go to settings and channel, country of residence, Canada. Choose the country where you're currently based, Canada. I would be honest there about where. So I would choose Norway for where you are because that's where you are. That doesn't mean that people in the United States won't see your videos. If your content is content that people from the United States want to see, then that's who's going to see it. YouTube is going to figure that out. So, and the reason I know this is if I go to my analytics and I go to my audience, let me see here. Actually, let me show you guys this too. If I go back to here, I can get rid of that, but I'll pull this down. Okay, so this is my YouTube studio. Okay, dashboard here. If I go to analytics, okay, and then up here, go over to audience, and then start scrolling down. So you can see, you'll see returning viewers versus new viewers, the two lines. Actually, yeah, you can see this is when I came out with that video that's been doing well. And as you can see, it's new viewer, a lot of new viewers coming. Okay, but that's not what I want to show you. If you go down here, scroll, You can see all kinds of stuff like watch time from subscribers or not subscribed is here. How are people watching your videos? So actually, this is a lot of this stuff I don't usually look at. So I can see here mobile phone, 38%. Most people are watching my videos on a mobile phone. That's interesting. And then second is computer and then TV. Interesting. Most of my viewers are male, 69.4%, 30% female. Here's a breakdown of the age category. So it looks like people between 45 and 54 years old is the largest group. And then 35 to 44, and then 55 to 64. But here's what I want to show you. Top geographies. I'm in Canada, and yet 46.3% of my audience is in the United States. Okay? Actually, Canada is third. UK is 6.6%, Canada is 6.4%. Then India, Australia, so on. And if you want to see more, you just click on this see more here, and then you can see an entire list of all the countries. And there's a lot. Wow. Interesting. I'll just go back here. Oh, why didn't that go back? X there. Okay, so yeah, so that'll show you that it doesn't matter what you put in for your country. If your content is geared towards people in the United States, that's who's going to see your content. That's basically the way to look at that. So I hope that helped. Here's a good question. Valera, what benefits can we get from blogging except financial? Because I guess it's not the best thing I can do for money, but I want to try blogging. Awesome. What benefits can you get from blogging? Well, one thing is, so I don't blog myself. So blogging to me is if you write articles and you put them on a website, right? That's blogging. Vlogging would be the same thing but with video, right? And that's when you can use YouTube to vlog and do day in the life videos. One good reason people do it, well, there's a couple of good reasons. One would be it's a hobby that they enjoy doing and they want to share with friends and family what they're doing. Now, I know in my recent videos I was saying, don't share your YouTube stuff with friends and family if you want to grow fast. Well, that's true if you want to grow your channel fast. But if that's not a concern, if you're not worried about making money, that's not why you're doing it, then share away, right? It's a great way it's free video hosting is what YouTube is. Make videos, and that's where you can host it and show people your videos. So let's say you make a video of a birthday party, right, for your kids, and you've made a video, you put a whole bunch of videos together and some photos all together with some music, and there's a video you've made. Now you want to share it with everybody. Well, you can't very well email that to people because videos are too large. The file size will be too large. Most email programs won't allow you to send files that are that big. So what do? You got to put that video somewhere else and then send people the link. Some people might just upload it to Google Drive or Dropbox and then send, email a link to people where they can click on that link, download the video and watch it, right? Then the video's on their computer. But a better way is to have a YouTube channel that you can upload your video to, and then it's on YouTube and you can copy the link to that YouTube web page that has your video on it and email that to your friends and family. They can click on that and watch it on YouTube. They don't have to download the video. They just watch it on YouTube. If you don't want the video to be discovered by people you don't know, then keep it unlisted. And I made a video on the difference between unlisted and private and public and all that last week. But basically, if a video is unlisted, then it's not searchable. People can't find it in search. The only way they'd be able to use it or see it is if you send them the link. Okay, so that's the way you can do that. And then you can use it to, document things, family stuff. I think it's a great way to start building a legacy. If you want to make videos about what you're interested in, put them on a personal YouTube channel that other people can see maybe later, maybe even after you're gone, like your grandkids and their kids and so on, right? That's another cool reason to start a YouTube channel. So just some ideas. I did eventually, Todd. Sorry, I saw your super chat eventually. Question from Carolyn. How do you make shorts? You can make a short in any video editing program that you make regular videos in. That's one way. So you would just have to set up your project differently. Like a short would be, what are the dimensions? 1080 by 1920, 1080 wide by 1920 tall, instead of 1920 wide by 1080 tall. So it's just flipped. So you have to set that up ahead of time in your project in Camtasia, CapCut, DaVinci Resolve, whatever you're using, and then build your short in there. Bring in your videos, add some text, add some music. You can do it like that. So hopefully that helps. Thank you, Kate. Let's get to 100. We're at 60. Wow, thank you guys. How many people are in here now? Anyways, I've clicked away from that. Oh no, I've got 83. Wow, you guys still listening to me? We are past 90 minutes, so it's 3:45 here. Let's say we'll go for another 14 minutes. We'll go to 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock Eastern. How's that sound? I don't want to take up too much of your day, but that's an even 2 hours. I have trouble making these shorter than 2 hours. Two questions from the Sullivan family. Is it bad to watch your own videos or show friends on their channels? Also, is it bad to post links to other socials or just let YouTube grow your channel naturally? Just let it grow naturally. That's especially in the beginning. Once your channel has grown and you're established and you've got lots of subscribers and views, then it doesn't matter so much. But until then, just let YouTube do its thing. You make the content, you make the thumbnails, get better at doing those things, make content that people want to watch, and that's what you focus on. You focus on that, and as your videos improve, YouTube will get better and better at finding who wants to watch your videos. If all of your videos are on the same topic, the same niche, right? If you've picked a niche and you're sticking with that, that also helps YouTube in finding the right people to watch your videos. So those are the things to focus on. Don't worry about trying to get people to watch your videos or even you watching your own videos. I don't even know if that even registers if you watch your own. Toronto Walker, I have a question. Does a clickbait title help you a little to get more views and subscribers? A clickbait title. So here's the thing. You do want your title and thumbnail to be attractive enough to get people to click. Okay? Now, do we call that clickbait? Maybe, maybe not. Okay? So here's the thing. If it's super clickbaity, right? Like you have to do this, or your life will fall apart, whatever. If you have to follow that up in the video. So whatever you promise with your title and your thumbnail, those are the two things people see, right? When they decide whether or not they're going to click. That's all they get to see. They have no idea what's in your video, but they're hoping that your thumbnail and title is a giant clue as to what's in your video. So they're going to click on that. Once they get to your video, if it turns out that your title was super clickbaity and it really had nothing to do with what your video is about, they're going to know that pretty quick and they're going to leave. So that's going to result in very low average view duration, which is going to hurt your video's performance. Doesn't matter if you got them to click a lot. And also keep this in mind. When you first post a video and YouTube sends that first wave out of your video to see who's going to click on it, they'll start with your subscribers, right? And once they start getting the data back, what's the click-through rate? Oh, it's good, is it? Okay, well then how's the view duration? Oh, it's bad. On average, people are watching 5 seconds and they're gone. Okay, so it's not a good video then. YouTube is going to decide, and they're not going to push it out to any more people. Okay, so the two, they have to match. So in that respect, a super clickbaity title without the proper video to fulfill the promise you made with the title is not going to help. But having said that, you do have to put some effort into making a title and thumbnail together enticing enough that people are going to want to click on it. But your video has to support that. Your video also has to be enticing enough for them to want to watch a good chunk of it as well. Okay, so hopefully that helped. Should we do a thumbnail for every video? Yes, 100% yes. And it's super easy to do in Canva, canva.com. They're not a sponsor of mine. I don't have an affiliate account. I love them. And you can start free. Now I do some things like remove background and enhance colors and brightness and stuff like that of me, not of the background, things like that. If you want to be able to remove the background, you have to get the paid version. But if you don't care about that, then the free version is all you need. But once you make one thumbnail in there in Canva, making additional ones becomes so much easier, especially if you start create a template or something to go off of and that all your thumbnails can kind of look like. That's what I would suggest. But yeah, I would highly recommend that you do one for every video for sure. Okay. Time for another quick drink. Oh, I missed that. That was another super chat. Sherry Morgan. Thank you, Sherry. I really appreciate that. Another super chat. I have a channel where I do a daily handstand challenge, and it's now 6 months now, and they are turning into vlogs. Should I weekly vlog or keep the same? Oh, and another question. Add to my question, is it better to upload from my MacBook Pro, or is my phone still okay? Well, I'll answer that one first. Either way, it doesn't matter. If you're uploading from your phone, that's totally fine, as long as as long as your phone is connected to the internet good enough that the video will upload. That's all. But that would be fine. I don't do it that way. I always do it from my MacBook myself, is how I do my uploads, because that's where I edit my video first. But if you're just editing on your phone, you can upload from your phone too. That's no problem. But let me just read your question again here. A daily handstand challenge, and it's now 6 months, and now they are turning into vlogs. Should I weekly vlog or keep the same? I guess it depends. You have to take a look at your analytics, and see what your audience wants. Actually, it's a good question for your audience. Go to your community tab and start a poll. Maybe do that, and ask your viewers what they think. You want me to keep on with these daily handstand challenges, or do you want me to turn it into a weekly one? But when you mention they're turning into vlogs, then I'm thinking maybe they're becoming a little harder to do because you're spending more time with them. If that's the case, then maybe you do the daily ones are fairly quick, but then once a week do more like a vlog one, right? That would be an idea. But I would lean on your audience for advice with that. Is the way I'd approach that. Or also just get into your analytics and try to find out if how the videos are doing. Are they doing well? Like if the videos are continuing to do better and better and better, I would keep doing what you're doing, quite honestly. But if you're noticing a slowdown, then maybe it's time to try something different, like a weekly vlog, for instance. So, but good question. I hope that helps. Here's a question. I have mental health channel since I suffer with. I want to make a safe place for people. However, it's not going anywhere. Is it a horrible niche? No, I don't think that's a horrible niche at all. It's something that I think a lot of people suffer from mental health. It's a thing, right? It's an issue for a lot of people. Maybe the way I would approach something like this is try to make content that helps other people. Okay, that's my best advice for that. So I don't know anything about your channel, but if you make videos that just talks about your issues, what's happening in your life, your grievances, the problems you have with it. If it's all you, try to flip that and try to help other people. Try to address the audience who's going to be watching your videos. So you can kind of flip that. And again, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I have no idea. But so you could make a video like, I don't know, like Are you suffering from mental illness? If so, I've got some things that I'd like to share with you that I think could help. And this is why I think it might help you. And if you have any questions, let me know. If there's anything else you'd like me to talk about, let me know in the comments below and things like that. But address the audience and think of it as one person. Honestly, I made a video about that not that long ago. If you talk to the camera like it's one person, they're more apt to connect with you. And if you're trying to help them, they're also more apt to listen to you and watch your videos for longer. So that's the way I'd approach a channel like that. Anything to do with health, fitness, try to help other people, and you know, that will create a better connection with your audience, and they'll watch your videos for longer. So I hope that helps. Are you thinking about doing an in-person join-up learning group on your area? I have not thought of that. No, I got a lot going on right now, so it's not something I'm thinking of currently. But who knows? Put DeepSeek on a separate device is what I've been told. Be cautious. That's good advice. I'll certainly look into it a little longer before I do anything with it. Okay. The peanut is antisocial. Yep, absolutely. Live kitty cam for the win. Yep. Question from Kim. How you doing, Kim? Good to see you. Do you start over at the beginning of a year? I guess I can Google this too, but okay, yeah, watch hours. So no, they don't start over. They roll. Okay, so today my watch hours. Okay, so let's put it this way. So where this is coming from, you need 4,000 watch hours in your last 365 days in order to get monetized. That's one of the things you need to get. That and 1,000 subscribers, so on. So the 4,000 watch hours, how is it calculated? From today. So today is January 28th, so 2025. So today's calculation would be from January 29th, 2024 to today, the last 365 days. Tomorrow, it advances a day, right? So today would advance to the 29th, and the 366th day ago will fall off that end, and everything advances. Okay, it's a rolling 4,000 hours, and if at any time it dips below that, you could get demonetized. I don't think that happens very often at all, unless you just leave a channel to die for years. But if you stick with it, it will only continue to go up. So yeah, that's how that works. Sherry says, do you know if you have to use copyright-free music for Patreon videos? I don't know. I've never used Patreon myself, but I would hazard to guess that yes, you would need to use royalty-free music. Basically, if you don't own it, you shouldn't put it anywhere. I mean, you could share it personally. Like if I'm at home, I can turn Apple Music on and play whatever, commercially available music, and that's because I have a subscription to Apple Music, right? Or if I have a CD, right? Or if I bought the music, I can play it. And my friends and family can listen to it as well because I've bought it. Radio stations, when they play music, they can't just play whatever they want. They have to then pay royalties to the owners of that music, right? That's the way that works. So whenever people create music, so artists, they own that music, and if anybody wants to play it anywhere, the owner of the music is going to get a royalty. Like if you think about a hockey game or a basketball game, if they play Metallica, right, over the loudspeakers, Metallica is going to get a little bit of a cut of that. And I don't know how that works, but it probably depends on how many people are in the stadium, or maybe it's an average. I have no idea. But basically, they get paid anytime their music is played anywhere. And it's why there are rules like festivals and things like that over what you can play and what you can't. Again, we're getting a little off track of what, I know exactly how this works. I don't. But because of all that, I would think wherever you put videos, you're going to want to make sure you have the right to use the music you put in those videos. Okay? So, if you're making a video and you're only going to send it via Google Drive to friends and family, then you can probably put whatever music in you want. But if you're going to upload it to a free service like Patreon or YouTube or whatever, then yeah, you would want to use royalty-free music, which is music that the royalties are being taken care of in another way, right? So I hope that helps. Okay, we are pretty much at 4 o'clock. Let me just quickly go through any. I'm not going to be able to get to all the questions, but quick question. Could start first channel in February. Wait, starting first YouTube channel in February. So you used Kajabi. Yes, I use Kajabi today still. Did you research any other platforms? I have over the years, but no, I was able to consolidate everything into Kajabi. Website, the courses, the coaching, all of it. My website, everything is in Kajabi, and I love it. It works great. Okay, any other questions? I hope, okay, here we go. Let's go with Joanne Benko. Hello, Joanne. Do you delete all your old versions and only keep the latest? If yes, how do you delete the old program on a Mac? You should be able to right-click and uninstall, I think. But I typically keep, so when a new major version comes out, I will usually keep it and the one previous. So right now, or at least for a few months, until I know for sure that it's working. But I don't think I have 2023 installed anymore. I would have deleted that probably, but when 2025 comes out, I will download that. I'll keep 2024 just in case for whatever reason 2025 doesn't work and I still need something to work with. So I quite often will have the current version and one before that, and I'll delete the other ones. That's the way I do that. Okay, I'm just question from Eric. So if I get monetized, American advertisement will still earn me money in Norway? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if your videos are like, you don't have any control over what ads are being placed on your videos, so it may be Norwegian companies. If your audience is mainly Norwegian, I guess again it comes down to who your audience is. If your audience is mainly Americans in the United States, then presumably it would be American ads that are being played for those people, and you would earn a commission on those. Absolutely. Once the viewer realizes you're not talking about what's in the title, they're going to click off. That hurts more than it helps. 100%. You are correct. Can I use a 5-second clip from another YouTube video of women doing a native dance for my intro video for my channel? For an intro video? That leads me to believe you may want to do it as an intro video for all your videos. If that's the case, I would ask for permission. But if it's something, if you're doing a review of a video, then you're probably fine. But I would put it in your description, say this video came from, and then link to their channel is what I would do. But if you're going to use that, if you want to use that as part of your regular intro for all your videos, I would ask permission. Reach out to them, and they may say that's fine. I am way behind on the chat. I know, or I was, yeah. Does Camtasia have a free version or a trial? I believe they have a 7-day trial that you can use. Wait, now where am I? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I believe it's a 7-day free trial. I don't think they have a free version, or they didn't. The last I checked, there was no free version, just a free trial. So that's what I would suggest you try. That's it. I'm to the end of the chats. Sorry, I wasn't as good this week staying on top of the chats as I have been trying to be. I'll try to get better next week. But yeah, that said, yeah, look for another video tomorrow. I'm going to make one tonight. I just have to decide exactly what I'm going to make. And that'll be tomorrow. That'll be for tomorrow. And then, yeah, if anybody wants to join Creators Cove, the link is below. There is the overlay again. And yeah, and the free stats tracker, if you want to download that, you might find that helpful. The success checklist is also free. You can check that out. Other than that, thank you for joining today. I'm just quickly looking if there's any other questions. It doesn't appear to be, and we're 2 hours and 5 minutes anyway. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I have a lot of fun doing these. I promise to get better at going through the chats a little bit quicker in the future. But hey, you got to learn somewhere, right? I'm learning as I go. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you same time next week, or in a video. Going to have 2 or 3 come out between now and the next live stream. All right? Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.